Hi, this is Teacher Jennifer from U.S. Citizenship Podcast. Happy Adult Education Week! My principal, Giuliana Brahim from Milpitas Adult Education and Corrections, asked me 25 questions based on the N-400. In Part 2, Giuliana talks about adult education. Let's get started. The focus on this one is that they really need to hear these additional questions, okay?
Okay.
Good.
I'm going to ask you some questions on the N-400. How are you eligible to become a U.S. citizen?
I have been a legal permanent resident for 5 years.
What is your full name?
My full name is Gina Vigna.
And what is your date of birth?
My date of birth is October 14th, 1967.
And how do you financially support yourself?
I am a teacher.
Have you spent any time outside of the U.S.?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen?
No, I have never claimed to be a U.S. citizen.
Have you ever registered to vote in any U.S. elections?
No, I have never registered to vote in any U.S. elections.
Have you ever failed to file for taxes?
No, I pay my taxes every year.
Do you belong to any groups or organizations?
Yes, I belong to an organization at my church.
And have you ever been a member of the Communist Party?
Never. I have never been a member of the Communist Party.
Have you ever killed or tried to kill a person?
No, I have never killed or hurt anyone.
Have you ever participated in a rebel group, militia, or army?
No, I have never participated in a rebel group, militia, or army.
Have you ever been in jail?
No, I have never been in jail.
Have you ever been a habitual drunkard?
No, I have never been a habitual drunkard.
Have you ever used, sold, or smuggled illegal drugs?
I have never used, sold, or smuggled illegal drugs.
Have you ever gambled illegally?
I have never gambled illegally.
Do you support the Constitution and the form of government of the U.S.?
Yes, I do.
Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance?
Yes, I am.
What is an allegiance?
Allegiance is to be loyal to a country.
If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms in the U.S.?
Yes, I am.
What is to bear arms?
To bear arms is to carry a weapon to protect the United States.
Are you willing to perform non-combatant services for the U.S. Army?
Yes, I am.
What is a non-combatant service?
Someone who works in the Army or serves in the Army, but they are not using weapons. They do not carry a weapon.
And are you willing to help the government during a national emergency?
Absolutely. I'm willing to help the government during a national emergency.
Do you promise that everything that you have said is true?
Yes, I do. In Part 2, Giuliana talks about adult education. She describes our program at Milpitas Adult School and the Elmwood Correctional Facility and looks forward to the future challenges of adult education. Can you talk a little bit more about the Milpitas Adult School program?
Yes. So the Milpitas Adult School program is growing to be a very vibrant little school. Our school is very small, but we serve over 1,000 students a year. We have a very tight professional community with our teachers, very experienced, also very diverse, and very committed to their practices and to the students. And paying attention to the adult learner is as important as paying attention to any learner, because actually the adult is the one that is going to continue to sustain their homes, raise families, go out for new jobs. So this year we're very excited because we have for the first time earned a USCIS accreditation, which accredits our school to do more career and technical education classes. Also, we are an active member of the South Bay Consortium for Adult Ed, and as such, we are receiving state and federal funds to run our programs.
Okay, when we think about adult education, we're thinking about people on the outside, mostly predominantly learning English language learners, but also we have to talk about our jail program.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I'd like to talk about the jail program, and also I want to go back to the young adults. So the Milpitas Unified School District, as having an adult school, has also the ability to serve the inmate population of the Santa Clara County Correctional Facility. And in that capacity, we have 25 full-time teachers teaching at the different facilities, at the Elmwood Correctional Facility, at the Correctional Center for Women, in Main Jail, and at the Reentry Center. And the purpose for us being there at the facility is to provide instruction to the adults at risk. And a person who is in incarceration is considered at risk. So we're giving them the tools so when they are released, they can change the way they were dealing with their lives, or at least able to better cope with some issues.
Is there any other adult schools that are participating in jail programs right now? Or?
So there are other providers, but they don't necessarily belong to an adult school. So you will have community organizations that come for a couple of hours, or other providers, but Milpitas Adult Ed has been the largest provider at the jail for the past 30 years. Yeah.
Okay, great.
At least. And going back to the young adults, we also need to pay attention to that population, because a young adult that comes to the adult school has not always received a high school equivalency diploma.
Absolutely.
And getting that diploma is just opening doors for many different possibilities.
Yeah. With our independent studies or our credit recovery or our GED, it's really, really helped a lot of lives. Can you say a little bit about our work with the Consortium?
So the Consortium is a group of 5 adult schools. They're regionally put together, and also it involves 4 community colleges. Together, the adult schools and the community colleges are creating seamless transitions and educational pathways for the adults. And understanding that California is such a rich state, we all believe that the future of California relies in the hands of the adult educators, because it's the adult educator that's going to open opportunities. Education will always be the way to improve our lives.
Okay. What challenges do you see in the upcoming years for the adult education population?
I want to talk about the positive things. So I think that the funding will continue for the next 3 years. So as the funding continue, we can strengthen the processes and programs that we have. The challenges are always going to be that an adult learner has a life other than school.
That's so true. That's why I started my podcast in 2007, because so many people want to become citizens, but they have adult responsibilities, and they need to attend to those responsibilities, but they still want to learn. So we need to break down those classroom walls, and so people can learn outside the classroom.
Yes, because when it's time to make a priority between going to work and feeding your children and come to school, you're of course going to go to work and feed your kids and make a better option. But the other challenge that, I don't know if it's a challenge, but what I see a lot is when our students learn a little bit of English and are able to communicate and go out to the workplace.
And then they get stuck.
They get stuck because they feel good that they're in that workplace, earning that job, earning that money, but they're not coming back to further. So they're taking the little piece and making it a honeymoon that's a little bit too long.
So they might stay as a stock clerk.
Yes.
whereas maybe they were managers. So many of our Vietnamese students, they were managers and business people in their own home country, but when they come here, they get very bottom rung jobs, and they really have a lot of job experience that needs to be translated and could be helped if they were able to stay in school, get more English, and then possibly get advanced degree in business management.
Yeah, and it's very important that you talk about the experiences and translating them to the new country because, again, every experience is who we are. So there's no need for you to take a clerk job when you were a business manager and not be able to bring that to this new life.
Right. I agree with you 1,000%.
Yes.
1,000%. So, the big conversation right now in adult education is things around 243. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. The adult schools receive funding from the federals and from the states, and 243 is a very important framework to work. And it means that a 243 model will include student learning ESL, English, learning the language piece, also learning that language in context, and then taking it to training and or the workforce. So, for example, if you want to get in the medical field, you will do your ESL, then you will go to a contextualized class where you're learning vocabulary of the nursing field, and then have the opportunity to train, intern, or follow education through that pathway.
Is there anything else that you want to include here, or?
I'm just very excited to see adult education where it's now. Many of you, and especially our teachers, have seen education go through very, very hard times. Adult education programs closing because there was no funding. But now it's like the thing has totally changed. People recognize the value of adult education, the value of citizenship, the value of parents being informed, and the value of all of us contributing to the growth of the region. So it's very exciting to see this interest, this energy, and the funding, without which we wouldn't be able to continue our programs.
One thing that is really important right now, can you talk about the whole concept of no wrong door?
Okay. And a wrong door means that you as an individual, as an adult learner, have many different opportunities.
Right.
And if you want to go through a pathway of technical education, there will be one. If you want to do post-secondary education in a college, there will be an opportunity. If you just want to go to work, there will be training available. So that means that every door will be an opportunity.
But do you think people really see those doors? Because I think a lot of people feel, hey, I don't know English, so I'm going to be shut out. I can't fully participate in American culture. What do you think people should look for, or how do you think people should pursue and try the different doors?
The different doors will be opened if we as schools provide the right wraparound resources. So if we need housing, if we need school, if we need transportation, it's not only about childcare. It's not only about the education, but all the other services that wrapped out together will give the student the possibility to access that no wrong door.
What do you see as the next challenge for Milpitas Adult School? What do you want to work on next one?
So next one, I want to provide as many professional development opportunities for our teachers, because if we're not up to standard with what the state and the region need, we will be doing a very bad disservice to our professionals in our school. And the next thing is, as you were saying, to break those barriers of a classroom is not only a classroom with four walls, but classroom can be anywhere.
Yeah.
And that is the key to being an active participant in the 21st, almost 22nd century.
I think, digital literacy is key. Using technology is very important to leverage, or to use technology as a leverage. I see, especially some people, when they prepare for citizenship, they might get involved with the apps or the videos or whatever the case may be, but once it comes to going to the interview, they don't have the soft skills to complete that interview. So I think no matter what, we need to learn how to, use technology, but also remember education is about human-to-human connection. And we're social beings, and we learn in a social setting. So,
and that is the beauty of the blended learning, which means you can use all the online tools, and you can also have the face-to-face interaction.
Yeah.
And that is, the balance is what's going to make us successful.
Any final words or any final thoughts?
Just thank you for this opportunity. I know you're very committed to our school, to our community, and this effort that you're putting out is always very important as you continue to represent Milpitas Adult Ed.
Thank you so much. And would you like to say anything Spanish to your fellow Peruvians?
Solamente gracias por la oportunidad de estar haciendo entrevista e invitarlos a que vengan a nuestra escuela a ver todas las oportunidades que siempre van a estar posibles para ustedes.
Thank you so much, Giuliana.
Gracias.
Bye. Thanks to the students and staff of Milpitas Adult School. You can visit our adult school at adulted.musd.org, or if you would like to learn a little bit more about citizenship, visit us on uscitizenpod.com. Thanks for listening. I know you will be a great American citizen. Adult education matters. Investing in adult students is investing in America's future.